Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Welcome to the Shotgun Thoughts broadcast on this wonderful day of delight. We'll be going over a few things I've been missing. I've been MIA. I've been captured by the enemy. I've been withholding, just like my bank account. So I've just been going through a lot of stuff the past 2 weeks. I'm still getting a hold of this thing with multiple sclerosis, and, it's kind of crazy. I don't understand this shit. It's so annoying. Just fluctuates in and out, up and down. You don't know. You don't know how today's gonna be, how this week's gonna be. You just gotta do your best. You do your best and try and hold it together. But I've been like falling apart the last 2 weeks. It probably has something to do with the weather, the heat. We got summer. Pretty much as soon as that started, I can't blame it all on that because I've been like super productive lately. Well, last month, June, very productive month, but I have been like out of commission the past 2 weeks, and it's fucking eating me up, man. I don't know what it is. I'm so tired lately, fatigued. I have like no mental capacity to do much. Like it takes a lot out of me to just focus on the things that I got to do for the day. And I keep a calendar, I keep post-it notes. I got post-it notes everywhere. I got notepads, I got post-its, uh just everything. I got reminders out the wazoo. At this point, it's almost like I have so many things written down that now I have to like organize my notes. And like that's another thing that I got to get to because it's just there's so many things that I'm handling at the same time, and then also other things that I guess are second, third priority that now I have to like review that I've gotten that shit the first priorities out of the way. And it's just I don't know, man. I've been like stuck in a time loop for the past 7, 8 months. I mean, goes back more than that, like 2 years now. I'm like basically out of commission. Like I can't physically work, and it kills me, man. Like I'm trying to just get through my everyday life physically, and it is tumultuous. It's tumultuous. I don't really want help in the sense, you know, I can't say that I require it 100% of the day, but it's just up and down where, I have to do things. I got to go up and down stairs. I'm on the second floor, so I got to go up and down the stairs all day, even if I'm going to go down to talk to my parents or something like that. It's just like I got to I got to, you know, do something that would otherwise be trivial and inconsequential, you know. But like I've hurt myself going down the stairs like 4 times at this point. I stubbed my toe last week, and I already had a sprain like 3 weeks prior to that. So, I want to push myself and I want to do a lot of the things that I can do every day, but it takes a toll on me for sure. And all of these things I have to factor this into, you know, how the fuck I'm gonna make a living at this point, because I've tried remote work and it just doesn't work out. And there's a lot of scams in applying for remote positions. So, between people not wanting to hire somebody that lives in New York, because that's what I've had recruiters tell me at this point, is that, somebody from New York, not only is the minimum wage here like basically $16 an hour, but when you're going to compare somebody's work ethic in New York in general, the work ethic of somebody in New York at an entry level compared to somebody in Nebraska or, some other state where $16 is like double the minimum wage. So you're talking, somebody that you're going to hire and is going to feel way more inclined to do their job and be dedicated. Plus, they're way nicer. They have a lot more patience. They're just they got a slower workload than people here in New York City. So we don't get hired for remote work. New York City, we do a lot of insurance work. And I'll be honest, I got my insurance license. I still got it right now. And I just can't bring myself to do that shit. Now, it's life insurance, it's health insurance. You're providing a service to somebody that does it does something. It actually can be very affordable, it can be very effective. There are many plans that can, help you with investment. And I passed the test, I studied, I got into that, but I'm not a salesman, man. I really I find it very difficult to lie to people in that sense. And to me, it is lying. Like the whole time I did that, trying to convince myself that I'm doing something for somebody. And I guess I am. These people want the life insurance, they want the health insurance, but it's just not in my nature to do it. I really have to convince myself that what I'm doing is something that's good, and I'm not just convincing people that I want their money basically, because at the end of the day, man, as much as they tell you all of this shit, you're providing a service, the whole system is like you're a salesman. You're selling something. So it's super hard to disconnect myself from that. It'd be different if I was selling TVs, something like that. But I don't know. It's not cold calls. You're not calling nobody out of nowhere. These are people who want the insurance for the most part. They applied through their union. But I just can't do it. I can't do it. It's just not in me. And plus, the time frame that they want you to do it in is right in between the day where, yeah, I'm home all day, and then my wife comes home, and then that's when they want me to work. So it's just it's just not something that I'm cut out for. And then the time frame is just gonna leave me no time to do anything with my wife. And it's already at the point where I have like 3 hours to spend with my wife before she goes to sleep and then goes to work the next day. So it's just that's something I had to abandon at that point, because especially with the way that the industry is and the way that they kind of just, everything you got to pay for. You're doing training, you're doing your license, you're doing this. So, I'm in a hole already, and they're talking about how you can make all this money and this and that. And I swear to God, I've heard this story at least 4 or 5 times already, because I got involved with direct sales, and even with like some company that worked with Spectrum, and you went door to door knocking, trying to get people to buy the basically go off of their Verizon, whatever the hell they had. And it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. They sell it to you so many different ways, and there are these things that I don't know. You have to really try them out to know if it's cut out for you. And with that, it's just it's not in my wheelhouse. Like I'm into helping people, and if I gotta convince myself that I'm doing something good for you instead of just feeling that way, I don't know. Something's already off right there. So I like to look at everything that it happens for a reason, and all the failures and the doors that close, it just kind of just points you in the direction of the ones that are open. So I don't like to get caught up too much on things that aren't working out for me, because there's been a lot of that going on in my life. I mean, I've worked in probably at least 10 different industries at this point. I had like 30 something different jobs. I started out in retail, and I was working in Party City. That was the first job I ever had. I was like 14, 15 years old. Worked in Party City. Had a terrible manager. I literally quit the second day because that, you know, she's walking around the store teaching us how to basically manage and stock the store. But instead of doing that and training us, she's knocking the shit off the shelves, pop, pop, pop. And she's literally, there's about five, six people, you know, that she's training. And like, people are just picking up this shit as she pop, pop, pops it off the shelf. And she's like, this is what you need to do. You need to, you know, anything that's not in the place it should be, you should pick it up and put it back where it needs to be. And I'm like, holy crap, man. Like, really, this is the way that you're going to go about training people? Like, treat them like they're subservient in that way? Like, that they're going to clean up trash off the floor? You know, like, you can't just tell people, like, this is not where it should be. You know, this needs to go in the cosmetics section. No. So, anyway, I don't stand for that shit. It started early off in my work career where, you know, like, we're gonna be on a two-way street here. Otherwise, like, I'm getting the fuck off this street, you know? I'm not settling for these things. And thankfully, I've been in a position where, I don't know, I guess I can do that and then, you know, not have to worry in that sense. But there's a million other opportunities. So everybody's got that option. You shouldn't ever feel like you're backed into a corner and you don't have another choice because, I mean, I'm in New York City, so there's like a billion jobs. But anyway, went from working in retail to believe my next job was in a pharmacy, and that was kind of similar. The management was a little bit out of control. There was let's just say a woman who was had other interests in another woman, and they were both managers, and it kind of worked itself into the workplace, and it was very strange. They had a lot of fights, and there was a lot of very strange interactions between the employees. But it was a very similar situation where it was mismanaged, and the managers were putting their time into all sorts of other things that were not work related or employee related. And, you know, it just got to the point where it was like, all right, this is just not working out. And that whole industry, that super commercial industry type of thing, you know, working for these big businesses or these more commercial type of enterprises like a pharmacy or something like that, that's directly related and linked into, you know, pharmaceutical industry and these massive things. So it just felt like it wasn't right for me. And I'd gotten an opportunity to work as a barback, a busboy, kind of a server slash busboy, and that was in the restaurant industry. My brother's girlfriend had gotten me that job, or at least presented the opportunity. And I went, got interviewed, everything went well, got hired, and the whole restaurant industry seemed super likable for a young person because, you know, it's lively, there's crowds, you're doing different work. It's kind of physical labor, you know, mostly physical labor, almost all physical labor. And you know, you can do that when you're young, so you kind of don't mind, you know, lifting kegs, lifting, you know, six packs, whatever you might need, ice for the bar, delivering the food to the table, helping out wherever is needed, really. And that got me into the restaurant industry. So from there, I I got into that, at least mentally, and from there, I remember that I got an opportunity to work as a cook, and I started. I liked it. It was a lot of work. You know, you do a lot of prep work, and you really don't do much cooking, to be quite honest, when you first get into the cooking industry. At least in most positions, you're going to be doing a lot of the prep work, a lot of cleaning, a lot of things like that, you know. So I really didn't care for that too much. I really loved cooking more than anything. And so I went basically for my food certificate, and with my food certificate, I, you know, it's a food handling license. So, you know, you're basically able to supervise staff and be in charge of food safety, sanitation, things like that, which is required in New York City. You pretty much cannot be a manager. You cannot run, you know, have anybody under you or or be in an oversight position without that. So I had gotten that in 2014, and yeah, from there I went to work as a manager in the kitchen industry. In the kitchen industry, yeah, I'm sure there are those, but anyway, in the culinary industry. So I was working in LaGuardia Airport, and they hired me as a cook initially, and they planned to promote me to a kitchen manager, but that wasn't something that I knew at the time. At the time, I was hired as a cook. Excuse me. Excuse me. I was hired as a cook, and yeah, like 2 months in, they wanted me to be a kitchen manager, and I was really excelling at what I was doing. I was carrying, forget about it, like 4 restaurants were on my back. I was in a place called Metro Burger, pretty much was my flagship, because nobody else could handle that place. It would get backed up. Forget about it. When flights got canceled, it was like there were hundreds of people lined up, and we were just banging out food left and right. Pretty much me. I was in charge of the grill, and we cooked burgers, chicken, salmon, steak, all different types of stuff like that. But pretty much, food that you could serve within 15 minutes, and you're out of there. Well, not out of there, but you could be standing up, whatever you need to do. You could get your food and be done with it, whether you're eating there or not. And it really got me, it threw me into the deep end, because they had multiple restaurants that they were running. It was OTG management, and yeah, there was, Seabow, the like food place you can grab like sandwiches and stuff like that. It was a lot of different places that they had, and I rotated between them. I cleaned them all up. I got, I implemented, or tried to implement, a lot of my ideas, and tried to get that through to management. And that's where I guess they wanted me to assume the role, but they wanted me to take the role and all the responsibilities, but no pay for 4 months. They wanted basically a 4 month probationary period for the management role. And I just seen it as completely unreasonable, because I mean, they were asking more and more of me. And at the time, I was with this woman who was not doing anything. She would go on 2 to 3 bathroom breaks a day and take at least 30 minutes. And because of the color of her skin, nobody wanted to say anything, and nobody did anything against it. And nobody was, I mean, we had a union who was supposed to be like taking care of these things, but nobody wanted to make an issue of it. I guess, she knew the right strings to pull, and what to say. But it was like I was trying to tell them, and I wasn't even making it about anything to do with, who she was. It was just about what was going on, and the fact that I was, overburdened. I was managing, meals and plates for hundreds of people, that at times, literally, her not being there for 30 minutes meant that I was cooking, anywhere from 20 to 50 plates of food for people, just getting these burgers out, fries, and and then I also had to stay and clean up and things like that. And it was just like she wasn't there for that. So yeah, anyway, it was too much. And when you don't have the support of your management, people trying to really like make amends, or at least be there and understand, and be like, hey, all right, we're going to try to work this out, try to work this through. It wasn't the case. And that was the second time where I was like, all right, all right. I literally just walked out of there. I told them they're all out of their fucking mind. They want to have me give me these responsibilities for 4 months, no pay. They weren't going to increase my pay, nothing like that. But they want to promote me. Yeah, that's a promotion. Like, this is the bullshit that I started off in my career dealing with. And then from there, I went to be a kitchen manager in a senior center. And that was pretty awesome, except for the fact that, anything culinary, cooking related, like it's like 2 3 jobs in one, because you're cooking, you're doing everything related to cooking, and you're talking about seasoning, preparing the food, and the dishes, making sure that everything is cleaned, and wiping down the the plate, sorry, not the plates, the stuff you're using to cook, cleaning it, making sure that things are, the quality is standardized, and you're not getting burnt shit in people's food, whatever it might be. Then you got preparation, which really consumes a majority of the time in the culinary field. And you're making sure things are done ahead of time, maybe a day or two, when it comes to certain things that need to be cooked. And then there are certain things that are prepped out, they're cooked already, and maybe half cooked, par cooked, and you got to have those things ready. Then you also are cleaning, you're making sure that everything is cleaned up, tip top shape, no shit, no oil on the underhangs. I mean, I could have basically been a food inspector at this point, like with what they put you through with the certification. Like that was like a 200 question test to get that food handler's license. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's involved with that. And in the senior center, when I got there, there was, I mean, it was mismanaged 100%. That, I mean, just the refrigerators, like this kitchen was serving about 100 to 100, maybe 200 maximum, seniors, and the refrigerators were filthy, filthy. There was a black gunk and mold all on the undersides, like anywhere that you can't see. That's where people just ignore that stuff, but that's where bacteria is collecting, mold, oil, residue, blood, everything else. It's disgusting, and I don't even want to know how many people got food sickness from this place. But I cleaned up everything, and the budget was very tight. So, I tried to do everything that I could, and we were totally understaffed, especially because, again, like I said, the budget was pretty low. I had two employees under me. I had a kitchen assistant, and then I had basically somebody who was brought in around service time to help with certain things like that, and also do the dishes, things like that afterward. But yeah, only one person in the kitchen, and we had to cook for anywhere from 100 to 200 people every day. And I did it with glee. I did it happily. I really enjoyed that job, and a lot of the people who went there primarily for the food, because there's a lot of people forget that seniors, and just really people who might need assistance in any way, especially as they start to age. It's like certain daily things that you take for granted how easy it might be to do. Some people, it's just a lot. It's a lot to be able to go out, to buy yourself raw ingredients, cook them. I mean, you got to prep this stuff. You got to cut it. You got to clean it. You got to cook it. It's hot. You could slip, you could fall. It's dangerous. There's a lot of things going on with that. And I just really love to be able to enrich these people's lives and their culinary experience, because you know some people don't care about food. They just want to eat. But a lot of people, they really care about what goes into their mouth, if they enjoy it, if it's good for them and everything like that. And in these senior centers, they have strict nutritional standards, and I had to meet with inspectors and dietitians. I had to make sure that my food was, in the guidelines for New York City standards. And it was a learning experience. I really took pride in the work I was doing, and it really propelled me on a journey forward in the cooking industry, where I felt like I knew what I wanted to do in my life. And spent a lot of time after that trying to find another management role, because unfortunately the funding got cut for the senior center, and I was basically laid off indefinitely, you could say, because my boss decided to just hire, or not hire, but order out, and have like a service basically provide meals every day, which I thought was ridiculous, and I didn't even understand how that could be cheaper than what was going on in the kitchen. So I just think it was an excuse for her to get rid of, having to manage the kitchen and the employees and everything with that, because there was a lot of problems related to yeah, everything else going on there. And I feel bad for the seniors, because that's those are the people I was there for, and basically everybody involved. We also had some Mormon youth that came there to learn some life skills and to interact between the seniors, help out with the service, and also learn things about the kitchen and cooking and stuff like that. So I really got a mix of both worlds between helping out the youth and helping out the seniors and getting involved with both of those. And I was happy to be a part of that. But from pretty much there on, I was back to being a grunt in the cooking industry. In New York City, I mean, you really gotta prove your mettle. And a lot of the times it just comes down to that resume and what you got on there. And, you know, people want to see results for the most part. So, whether it was the way I was marketing myself, I don't know. But a lot of the offers I got for management were to basically start off as a cook and then work my way up to that, which I was not averse to that. I happily accepted it, and I seen it as that traditional apprentice becomes the master type of situation. But it's all smoke and mirrors. It's something that I had these like illusions of grandeur, and I really had all this ambition and this work ethic, this drive, and I feel like it was just sucked from me in the culinary industry. These people just they ride on that momentum that you have, and I worked in Madison Square Garden, and these were very the very same people that pretty much promised me a management position, and 3 months in, 6 months in, just not happening. Meanwhile, I'm floating around to maybe 8 different restaurants, banging out, improving things, working on the service and ironing that down, the times that the food needs to be made, when we need to get, more food from the prep kitchen, this, that, what temperatures we should keep the grill at. I was working at Gene George's taco stand, doing the grill, banging out the tacos, serving hundreds of tacos every hour, just flipping pounds and pounds of chicken tinga on the grill. I mean, nobody could even do this. Nobody even wanted to do these jobs, but I'm taking it, getting an extra dollar an hour. I'm sweating. I'm terrible with the heat. That's why I'm shirtless right now. We're talking about, heat regulation. That's why I got my shirt off. It's like I'm hot. I had my air conditioner on 2 minutes ago, 68 degrees. Now we're talking AC's off. I'm burning up. I'm burning up. I got sweat forming. My armpits are getting soggy. So I just, I realized that the kitchen, it was made for me, man. It's a passion I have. I love it. But when it comes to working in a kitchen, it's a passion for a reason, you know? And those things, you got to follow. You got to be aware of that, but you got to look at opportunity more than anything. And this opportunity was being a detriment to my health. There were also many times that I've fallen, hurt myself in these kitchens, and it just wasn't doing me any good in that regard. And I really was looking for a way out even before this started to happen. Things were just they were culminating. They were really coming to a head because I had very mild, I guess mild in comparison to now, but I had mild symptoms like dizziness and lightheadedness, um, imbalance, spasticity in my left arm, where I also had numbness and tingling. So a lot of things that you just wouldn't think it's something serious, but something was telling me inside that I really need to reorient myself and figure things out because it's just not working out for me, and I'm not the type of person to litigate and seek assistance and support unduly. But the last 2 years, unfortunately, I've had to cave. I've had to cave, man, and I really hate the fact that I have to rely on other people and other services and assistance. And I'm in the process for Accessoride right now. I'm applying for a service dog. I'm trying to do all of these things to just make myself better and get right, and it can be so overwhelming at times because everybody wants to help for the most part. They want to be supportive, but I don't know, man. Like if you're not gonna help, then don't hinder. Don't don't just be supportive in that sense. It's better than nothing. But I don't know, like I always try to give people options and solutions and things that not only could they do, but things that would definitely ease some of their burden, you know. I don't like to just give like cliche, oh, everything's gonna be all right, tomorrow's okay. I mean, tomorrow will be a better day, and all these the word on the tip of my tongue, I can't think of it. It'll come to me. But anyway, I try not to get into those things, and I try to be real and provide serious assistance in the best way I can. And I don't know, I don't think that I present too many difficult situations for to be able to, ask for help in certain regards. But I don't know, I just feel like I never get the help that I want. Maybe it's because I'm difficult to help. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like always, I'm always told to do something different, or what I'm doing is wrong, or no matter what, it's just I'm not supported in what I'm doing, in the plan that I'm on, and it's just it's so overwhelming sometimes. I'm just trying to like be consistent and be persistent as well, and like get through these things, and especially when I'm struggling, when I'm down, when I feel sick, when I don't know, when I'm not having a good day, I'm always there to pick other people up, especially when I'm not having a good day. At least I try. I try to put myself on the side. But when I'm down, I, I just feel like nobody's really like trying to pick me back up, you know? Like it's like they want to maintain that status quo. Like, all right, he's not complaining, you know, okay, back to normal, But again, I don't even know what to do about that in that sense because I probably am probably not even very receptive to people helping me. I have no idea what it is at this point. It's like sometimes do people tell me stuff and I'm just like I don't agree with that. I don't think that's the right thing to do. So I don't know. I'm very vocal about the opinions I have. So I guess people can feel put off by that. And yeah, I don't know. I'm a difficult person to help, I guess. But yeah, I'm just trying to get everything sorted. And I'm trying to, worry about basically my family, my wife first, and put my health at a very close second. And then, unfortunately, for me, those two things are so important. Because if I don't have those two things, then what am I working for anyway? What am I doing? What am I, jeopardizing? Because at this point, the only way I can guarantee work is to do physical labor or to get in the car, which yesterday was a problem. I mean, not having full faculty over my body, and especially my right leg being my problem, my biggest physical problem. That's extremely hard to deal with when I'm having a relapse, and I think that that's been happening for the past week or two, where I'm really bad at points, and I felt like I was okay yesterday, and I got in the car and everything, and it was a struggle the whole time. I had to exert 100% of my effort to keep my leg in control, and be able to stop and go and do my thing, that little maneuver where you gotta to the gas and the brake. It's just, something that I really hate, the fact that I might not even be able to drive anymore. It's like, and how the fuck am I supposed to do anything really? Like if I, if I can't work from home and I can't drive and I can barely walk and I don't have any income, social security, anything like this. I mean, it's just fucking mind blowing, man. And then the doctors want to put me on more medication. I was trying the gabapentin a week or two ago, and it's fucking killing me, man. Like it's making me feel so tired and worn out, and it makes the tingling and the numbness in my arm go away. But it's like, I, what the hell does it matter if the numbness and tingling is not there? If I'm fucking in bed all day, or I want to be in bed all day and I can't do anything. And that's only one of like 10 medications that they want me to be on. And I just don't fucking understand it, man. You know? Like I have no way to do anything, and then they just want me to be more incapable, but you know, it's just crazy. And I'd have been having terrible luck. July 4th, happy Independence Day, everybody. I'm really sorry that I wasn't able to get anything out. I actually had a July 4th Independence Day podcast, and I thought it was really great, but there was some personal topics that got discussed, and it was between me and my wife and everything. So I'm very sorry. I didn't get the okay to put that one out. Nor do I think I could have. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. But yeah, nothing too crazy. But that's not my judgment. I'm not allowed to give my final say on that anyway. And then there was also an interview I had with a lovely lady named Tracy from the MS community, and I was having difficulties with Microsoft Teams because maybe somebody can let me know, but you cannot record in that anymore. Like maybe you need a Microsoft 365 account. I don't know what it is, but I could not record. And since I was recording in the software and using my mic and my webcam, what I record in OBS, it wasn't picking up any of the audio or anything like that, just from Tracy. So I wasn't even able to, you know, create an episode from that. So again, I apologize, but I will be having her back on most likely, probably in the near future, and we're just looking at to keep reaching out. I've reached out to a few people at this point, and maybe we'll hear back. We'll get some new guests on the show. Mostly probably be MS related for now. At least those are the people I've reached out to, and yeah, we're trying new things. We're trying to keep this going. I'm trying to keep you guys close in that way. Where yeah, I'm sticking to my guns here. We're gonna keep this going. I really appreciate your support. Go ahead, throw a like, subscribe, and yeah, give me your feedback. Anything you think maybe we should talk about, could address, MS related. Oh yeah, I'd like to mention that. Well, you know what? Maybe we could save that for another episode. But I have some decently good news, at least in terms of keeping myself productive. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much for listening tonight. Appreciate your time, patience. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Take care.